friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Megan and today is the Disney Booktag Day. This video was originally to broadcast and advertise the Descendants book, which is now a Disney Channel movie, and I loved that movie, so I picked up the book and I'm super excited to read it. But just to get us started, each of these prompts are based on a Disney character, so the idea of the book tag is to name your favorite book within the prompt. So here we go. The first prompt is The Little Mermaid, and for this you are to choose your favorite book with a character that is basically fish out of water, if you will, so someone who just doesn't feel like they are in the right world, in the right place, and they just want to be in the right place. So for this, I chose A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I don't know of anyone who feels more out of place than Feyre in A Court of Thorns and Roses when she is kind of kidnapped and taken to the world of Prythian. And yeah, I honestly she's the most fish out of water character that stood out to me. She definitely is struggling to fit in, and I think she struggles to fit in even when things change for her. So yeah, that will be my Little Mermaid. As you all know, I just recently read this book. I love this series so much. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I also picked up A Court of Mist and Fury. I just have to finish the series, but so far this is definitely one of the top series in my reading history. Also, I hope you like the mouse ears here. I didn't want to walk all the way downstairs because I'm lazy or something. I don't even know. But I did not want to walk all the way downstairs to get my mouse ears, so I just kind of made my own, if you will. The next prompt is Cinderella, and this is a character that undergoes a large character development or a serious change, and for this I chose Matthias from Six of Crows or Crooked Kingdom. Overall, he has the biggest change. I'm gonna go ahead and say what it is, so if you haven't read Six of Crows or Crooked Kingdom, go ahead and skip to where you don't see me holding this book. I will keep a hold of this book until I'm done talking spoilers, but yeah. So Matthias's change throughout the book is probably one of the best things about this series. He starts off as a person who really hates Grisha and everything like that, and then in the end he ends up falling in love with the Grisha girl. Honestly, his development from being such a racist, you could say, or like hating on so many people just for this rumors and stories he's been told as a child, and then meeting them and actually working with them and understanding that they aren't a threat and that they're just people too, and then going as far as to try to change his people's minds and his country's values and morals and everything regarding Grisha is such an incredible change, and I'm so sad for what happened to Matthias because he was such a good character. Alright, I'm gonna put this down now so that people can see that I'm done talking spoilers. The next prompt is Snow White, which is a book with an eclectic cast, and for this I chose Skyward. I was gonna do A Court of Thorns and Roses or Six of Crows, but both of those I've already mentioned, so I decided to choose a new book. I chose Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This tells the story of Spensa, who is going to flight school to try to redeem her father's name from being called a coward her whole life. So her father fled the war and has been called a coward, so she's going to flight school to redeem the respect for her family. So in this, you meet an entire cast of characters who are incredible in her little flight training group. I love these characters. I just found out yesterday that the sequel to Skyward is coming out, and I was literally trembling with excitement because this is an amazing book, complete 5 out of 5 stars, and it as you've seen, it's exclusively shelved on my bookshelf here so that people can look at it because this is just such an amazing book and I cannot wait for the sequel. The next prompt is Sleeping Beauty, or a book that put you to sleep. I normally unhaul all of the books that put me to sleep, but I do still have one from this month that I still have to include in my monthly wrap-up. So that book is Hamlet. As a theater major, that's pretty sad that I fell asleep reading Hamlet, but the text is just so hard to get through and not just like get tired that I couldn't help it. It wasn't the story, it was literally just trying to decipher what was going on, and my brain was just going in overdrive trying to read it, and it just did not compute, so I fell asleep. The next prompt is The Lion King, or a book with a character that has a traumatic childhood. And honestly, I can't think of a character that has a more traumatic childhood than Harry Potter. I mean, losing his parents and being raised by his aunt and uncle that hate him for anything that he doesn't even know he's in control of. So like, I don't know, living under stairs and being raised with like hand-me-downs and secondhand scraps and everything like that. I just can't think of a more traumatic childhood. Honorable mention is Nevernight with Mia and her trying to redeem her father after he was assassinated in front of her, and so she becomes an assassin. So I guess that's kind of traumatic, but like, I don't know, I feel like Harry had a pretty traumatic childhood, and I know most of you would agree. The next prompt is Beauty and the Beast, or a beast of a book, and I used this for my beast of a book in the Disney read-along, so I felt it was just right to use it for this prompt as well. I read A Court of Mist and Fury. It's over 600 pages, and it's a book that is big and kind of intimidating, but in the end you saw its beauty. Oh my gosh, this book is incredible. I actually bought a physical copy for myself because this one's from the library. So I bought a physical copy. It's on the way to my house. I'm stoked. Like, this book, oh my gosh, yes. The next prompt is Aladdin, or a book with a character who receives a wish granted for better or for worse. I actually have not finished this book, but I feel like Children of Blood and Bone fits this prompt. I'm currently on page 124. I made it to page 300 in the past, and then I had to restart because it's been so long since I picked it up. It's not for lack of enjoying it. This book is incredible, and I can already tell it's going to be a 5 out of 5 stars. But essentially, this book is about a girl, or a tribe of people who have lost their powers, and this girl and her brother and another girl are going on a journey to restore that magic. And I mean, the wish came true because I'm sure she wanted her magic back, so I think that this fits that prompt. Next prompt is Mulan, or a character who pretends to be something they're not, and I could not think of a better book for this than Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palpretto. This book was immensely incredible, and I loved it so much. It tells the story of Veronica, who wants more than anything to be a Phoenix Rider, and she tries to accomplish that goal by pretending to be a boy and joining the Phoenix Riders, like, school, I guess you could say. But they only accept boys, so she pretends to be a boy to join, and I mean, Mulan pretended to be a boy to take her father's place, so honestly, what could be better for a Mulan prompt than Crown of Feathers? I think when I actually unboxed this in Owlcrate and read the prompt out loud, that I said it had Mulan vibes, so that's perfect. And the sequel for Crown of Feathers will be coming out this year, and I am incredibly excited to read it, and oh my goodness, this year is just filled with books that I need, and my bank account is already screaming at me. Everyone, please go read Crown of Feathers. She totally deserves the love because her work is incredible, and yes, I think I'm going to be doing a book talk on Crown of Feathers soon, just because, yeah, it's so good. I might reread it and annotate it, but I just love this book. So the next prompt is Toy Story, or a book where you would love the characters to come to life, and honestly, who can pick one book? I want every book to have the characters come to life because honestly, all these stories are my babies, and I can never pick like one single book of characters out of my entire library of books here, because like each book means so much to me in such a different way, and I would love to be friends with so many of these characters, and I could never choose, so all of them. The last prompt is Descendants. So if you don't know, the Descendants movie is based on the concept of the Disney villains having children and what that would be like. And for this prompt, it is to choose your favorite villain from a series, and I chose Holland from A Darker Shade of Magic. A Darker Shade of Magic is another one of my favorite series. I couldn't think of a villain that like really stood out to me because I'm more of a heroes person myself, but out of all of them, I believe Holland in A Darker Shade of Magic is probably my favorite villain, just because he's got such a complex story. So that's it. That is the Disney book tag. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what your answers would be down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will check in with you guys on my next video. Bye!